So when most folks are making lists of the most powerful characters in comics, you usually get the same familiar faces popping up like Superman, Thor, Doomsday, Darkseid, Apocalypse, Silver Surfer, etc, and every one of those lists is wrong. It is the cosmic entities, the creator beings, the abstract primal forces, and the characters who represent the very concepts of reality that are really the most powerful category of beings in comics. So much so that mere mortals like you and I can barely perceive or comprehend just how much power they possess. And they are abundant across almost all comic book universes. With that in mind, I'm Will for What Culture, back after a failed career attempt as a Hooters waitress to bring you the 10 most powerful cosmic entities in the Marvel Universe. And quick record scratch disclaimer time, when we're talking about these levels of power, there's always a bit of to and fro to argue about, particularly towards the lower entries on this list, so, ranking them exactly and empirically is tricky, but that's comics. Number 10. Galactus. As arguably the most well-known character on this list, Galactus really needs no introduction. That said, he is a planet-devouring force of nature who needs to consume worlds in order to provide his body with the energy it needs to live. And he needs to live in order to maintain the universe's balance, as he is an essential aspect of its very existence. He possesses the virtually limitless energies of the power cosmic, and as such, has a very wide and impressive array of powers. He can manipulate matter and energy, erect nearly impenetrable force fields, project extremely potent energy blasts that are powerful enough to destroy planets, open wormholes and portals to other dimensions and time, transport beings across the universe and across time, teleport, read minds, use telekinesis, reconstruct matter or transmute it, such as turning water into ice, etc, turn matter into energy or vice versa, erase memories through manipulating souls, repair or heal living tissue, and even resurrect the dead. He's also the guy that gave Silver Surfer all of his powers when he was Galactus' herald, so yeah, pretty OP dude. Galactus is also so abstract that he can't be perceived in his true form. Different civilizations view him in different ways, which is why humans see him as a giant human being in a purple helmet. Number 9. Oblivion. Rather dismally, Oblivion is the personification of the void, collapse, or death of the universe, and he was created just after the universe itself was. Obviously, as a result of his nature, he possesses the power to destroy universes, but just to put exactly how powerful he is into perspective, a mere aspect of Oblivion, Amatsu Mikaboshi, sort of like his herald I guess, was able to destroy almost all of the multiverse. His powers are cosmic in nature, and they're very similar to so many others on this list, though due to his dark nature, he will opt to use them for destructive purposes more than most, and he's one of the more sinister looking entities of the Marvel cosmic roster, which, due to the nature of his character, really shouldn't come as a big surprise. Number 8. The Phoenix. The Phoenix, or Phoenix Force, is a cosmic force of nature. It is an immortal being that represents all the life that has and ever will exist. It quite often chooses a host to dwell inside, which grants said host a plethora of incredible powers. The Phoenix Force itself has the power to both create and destroy. Its powers include the ability to project an extremely powerful concussive force, the ability to manipulate matter at the subatomic level, the ability to travel freely through both time and space, the ability to absorb many kinds of energy, ranging from the life force of a single being to the energy of an entire sun. It can resurrect itself or others after death. It possesses vast telepathic and telekinetic powers, and it can teleport between distant locations using wormholes. Number 7. The Beyonder. The Beyonder, at least in his pre-retcon form, was an insanely powerful character. Easily his most famous and important appearance in comics was the original Secret Wars arc, in which he summons a group of both superheroes and supervillains and teleports them against their will to Battleworld, a planet he created, to fight to see which is stronger between good and evil. He was pretty much omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and could warp reality around him effortlessly. He could so easily destroy entire galaxies and possessed vast sonic abilities that allowed him to control and manipulate matter and energy on a universal scale. In fact, he was shown to repel the planet-devouring Galactus like a bug. But he did get severely depowered in the retcon, so couldn't really put him any higher on the list than this. Number 6. Infinity. Infinity is an incredibly powerful cosmic entity who represents the infinite potential of existence. She is the sister of Eternity, and together they have a responsibility to maintain the balance between life and death. Where Eternity represents all time in the universe, Infinity represents all space, and of all the cosmic entities, she is the one seen the least often, although that might just be coincidence, or she could just be a recluse. As her name would suggest, Infinity possesses near limitless power, and she most often manifests in female form, whereas her brother manifests as a male. Such is her power that she can easily best the likes of Galactus, and galaxy-busting gods like Odin have used tiny fractions of her power to augment their own. She can wield vast cosmic energies for a wide variety of effects, including powerful energy manipulation, and she is almost omniscient and omnipresent. Number 5. Eternity. So number 6 and number 5 are kind of a tie, but because we've seen more of Eternity, he takes the number 5 spot. He is the brother of Infinity, and Eternity represents all the time in the universe. He has been around since before the beginning of the universe, and he is as eternal as his name would suggest, and he exists in all places simultaneously and at all times, and he always will. This powerful entity has no physical form, but appears as a male and merely chooses an avatar to communicate with in the physical realm. Eternity can alter space, matter, and energy around him to achieve virtually any effect he desires. Like his sister, he can easily best the likes of Galactus and is virtually omniscient and omnipresent. Number 4. Death. Arguably one of the most feared of all the cosmic entities in the Marvel Universe, unless you're Thanos of course, is the embodiment of death. Often manifesting in the form of a lady, Lady Death, but also appearing in the classic Grim Reaper form, Death is the all-powerful cosmic force of nature that decides who and what lives and dies in the Marvel Universe. Although Death rarely speaks, usually getting her agents to speak on her behalf, we get the gist of what she's about. She has complete control over souls, and if she wanted, could switch souls between bodies, send souls to hell, leave souls trapped in an intangible state, or do whatever the hell else she wanted to do with them. As well as the ability to kill anyone she chooses, she can also gift, or curse depending on how you look at it, any living being with eternal life, such as what has happened with Deadpool. She is worshipped by the mad titan Thanos, who is actually in love with her, and most of what he does is simply to impress her, such as the events of the Infinity Gauntlet story arc. She is completely immortal and invulnerable, possesses vast cosmic awareness powers and vast energy manipulation powers. And in some iterations, she's like crazy hot. So yeah, she gets number 4. Number 3, the Living Tribunal. Hey, so I bet a lot of y'all thought this guy would be at number 2, and although you could probably make that case, you'll see why when we get to the next entry. But basically, the Living Tribunal is a singular entity who exists across the entire Marvel multiverse. His true purpose, i.e. the task for which he was created, is to protect every single universe indefinitely. He safeguards existence itself from the mystical and cosmic imbalance and transcends the realms of death and eternity, order and chaos, and all opposing realities. Concepts like good and evil, right and wrong, or happy and sad have literally no meaning to the Living Tribunal, and he is concerned only with what is ultimately right for the good of the universe in the long term. He possesses absolutely unlimited power and is able to erase whole realities from existence. However, he has no free will and is bound to the wishes of the one above all. Number 2, the Fulcrum. The Fulcrum is a strange one. He is an ancient cosmic force that the likes of the Celestials, the Watchers, and the Horde serve without question. He is almost as powerful as the One Above All itself, and this has led some people to believe that he might actually be a part of, or an aspect of, or actually another name for the One Above All itself. Rather humorously, he's also the bartender who runs the Vestibule, a funky little bar where Eternals go before they either return to a newly regenerated body or head off to their version of the afterlife. Although he may actually be the One Above All and does indeed look somewhat similar to the late Marvel genius and beloved creator Jack Kirby, that's just a theory, so he did technically have to be included as a different entry on this list. And all that wraps us very nicely to the predictable number 1 entry, which is number 1, the One Above All. The One Above All, not to be confused with the Celestial of the same name, is the supreme being of Marvel and the Living Tribunal's master. He is the only being in the entire Marvel multiverse with true omnipotence. When you think of God as the creator of all in the real world, the One Above All is essentially Marvel's version of that supreme being. He is the reason everything in the Marvel multiverse exists, including every other character in this list, and as such, he possesses every possible power you can imagine, and he possesses it on a truly multiversal scale, allowing him to do quite literally anything. He has actually interacted with some lesser characters on occasion, such as when the Fantastic Four traveled to the edge of existence and ended up in his realm. He also took the form of a homeless man to kick it with Spider-Man for a little bit as his Aunt May was dying, but aside from those instances, we haven't seen the One Above all that much, but we do know he's effortlessly the most powerful cosmic being, or being in general, in the entire Marvel universe.